meetings. If you don't know what that is, I have a management and an expert of the radio industry giving me tips and tricks and feedback, constructive criticism. Sometimes just straight up tell me I suck. And then I got to write that down as my notes and then try to do the next show not sucking.
Right.
Yeah. It's very difficult to do sometimes. But there's a couple of takeaways from the consultant meeting I had yesterday. First and foremost, he said that phones are dead. People don't call radio shows anymore. Which I disagree. I mean, we have a lot of friends of the show that call in all the time, 600 KFMA. So feel free to call in whenever you want. We want to interact with you. We are Tucson's morning show. But we also talked about what I've mentioned this on air before, but I used to do a show on Halloween, or at least the last weekday until Halloween. That was a theme show. It was every single song that played that morning was covers. There were cover songs. And the reason why is because that's a musician dressing like another musician. Yeah. Musically, not literally. Unfortunately, the consultant took it literally. But I meant, theoretically or metaphorically speaking.
Where's their imagination?
Yeah. When a musician covers another musician, they're emulating them to a certain extent. It's like they're dressing up for them or like them on Halloween.
Yes.
So I want to do this all cover show on October 29th, right? Just to switch it up and have some fun. It's kicking off holiday weekend. Let's kick off Halloween weekend with an all cover show as bands dress up as other bands. I get told by management that that's too risky.
Risky business, eh?
Yeah. Oh, risky? What are we risking? I don't understand that logic whatsoever. Like, if we don't play Offspring, everything's gonna S the bed, like everyone's gonna go away. If I don't play Offspring for one day, or at least Gone Away by Offspring, which is coming up, by the way, so you're gonna keep it right here because I know you want to hear that Offspring song. And I love that Offspring song, and I love the songs that we play on the show. Let me be clear about that. But for a theme to kick off a Halloween weekend, I think it would be fun. It would add an extra element of fun on this. Well, so
listen, you're risking the fact that I might hear a song I've not heard on the station before, and then I'll never hear it again because we don't always do that. Oh, what will I do?
Why was that echoing? It doesn't matter. Good morning, Manny. Good to see you on the stream. Good morning, Todd. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Let me get Powers on here so he's not echoing. You got to mute your mic. That's why I just muted your mic.
Thank you.
No problem. But yes, we're back here on Friday. Talking with film critic Herb Stratford, who's hiding his face behind the microphone.
Oh, sorry. All right. There we go.
Yeah, that's the money shot right there, Herb.
When you talk about my face in a money shot, that makes me nervous.
Yeah,
I tell you right now.
You should be nervous, actually. Yeah.
I wasn't here last week, so I know you missed me, but
yeah, it's a money shot miss. I can't wait to see you. We just gotta share this stream here. What are some of the movies that we're going to talk about this hour? Give me a rundown of the titles. The new Clint Eastwood movie?
No, not yet because it isn't here. So we're going to talk about the Nick Cage movie, Prisoners, Ghostland.
That was a movie that he said that he's not even going to watch because he's too crazy in it.
No, that's a different one. That's another crazy movie he's in. So we're talking about that. We're talking about The Starling, Blue Bayou, Malignant. We got to talk about Malignant on HBO Max. That's the one to talk about this week.
Okay,
sure.
Yeah, I tried to start watching that, and I just got distracted. So,
yeah, no, it's bonkers.
Okay,
there's a twist that it's worth your monthly HBO Max cost, which I think is going down. I think they just announced they're dropping the cost.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, that's real good. I haven't been paying for HBO Max, but I'll still.
Powers, I gotta say, what is up with that Rock Slurpee cup, man? It's just freaking me out.
That's the people's champ, The Rock. That's right. The most entertaining man, most electrifying man in all of entertainment.
But I mean, like, it's 3D.
That's right.
It's like totally freaking me out.
Vintage cup. I brought it from home. All of my cups in my house are collector cups. That's how you gotta live.
When you open it up, yeah.
You've been somewhere.
No, but you know what? I will bounce with that because I will tell you, I have two cups in my kitchen. One is Star Trek: The Motion Picture cup.
There you go.
Okay, and I have a Flintstones cup from when I was a kid.
There you go. Fantastic.
So,
are those glasses? Are those
no,
nice
these
glasses?
are like plastic.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go. Nice
so
stuff.
these are, they're not dishwasher safe. I don't think. I'm not going to risk them to that, but I do have them, and they are important parts of my collection.
There you go. You got to collect. I collect everything.
But that's awesome because that's like that's period. That's good stuff.
Damn right it is. Yeah. I love lenticular holograms.
yeah. It's a special collectible, that's for sure.
I'll check out on the live stream. You can only exclusive to a live stream. There you go.
Yeah, and so if you're checking us out on the live stream, make sure you know that we are on Twitch and YouTube as well. So like and subscribe and all that nonsense.
Hit them share buttons.
Yeah, and I have a bunch of stuff that we're going to cover today. Not only talk about movies, but I got some videos I didn't get a chance to get to yet that I'm excited to share with you. And I hope the stream holds up well because I'm using 2 cameras on my computer because Herb forgot his laptop.
Uh-oh.
I got out of the habit. Well, so what? Did I call in 2 weeks ago and then last week I didn't come? So it's been like a while since I've been here.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah, you did call in from Montana.
Yeah,
which is good. Oh, and also I've been talking about this murder mystery on the stream.
Okay.
I have a new theory, and I'm gonna break that down here in right after our tease. Actually, I have to talk about it. I don't know if you heard this story of this man named Alex Murdaugh. That's how I'm pronouncing it. This is in South Carolina.
Okay.
So quick recap. Okay. So it started with 2 years ago, his entitled rich son. This is a family that is basically a dynasty in South Carolina.
Okay.
They've been rich for generations and they're into law firms and legal business. So judges and lawyers. So they run the county. Okay. So they've been corrupt for quite some time. Well, this kid, Alex's son, was one of those rich entitled pricks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So one day he's out on the lake with his boat, with a couple hot chicks on the boat, and he's drunk and he's driving the boat around and he gets into an accident and kills a girl.
Okay.
And then when he killed the girl, he had like no empathy or sympathy whatsoever. And the girl's boyfriend wanted to kick his ass because of it. This is how much of a punk this kid was. So he was facing trial for, wrongful death and things like that. Civil suit, I think. No legal charges were pressed against him besides DWI or, driving a boat under the influence.
Boating well under the influence.
Yes, but he was going to get off. And a lot of people within the community knew that he was going to get off as well. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there, do a quick tease, and hold that thought because it's developing. It's crazy.
Oh.
Thought is held.
Rock 102.1 KFMA and Speed Vegan presents. And coming up next, Herb Stratford, the film critic, who's here right now, unfortunately, is going to give us reasons why we need to watch HBO Max's Malignant. Is that correct?
Yes.
It's that good that we have to watch it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We're going to find out why right after Lincoln Park. Keep it right here. Rock 102.1 KFMA.
So now, Beef, when
clear.
You talk,
you gotta wait till I say clear.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So Beef, when you talk about the entitled pricks and the accidents and stuff, you know the story about the Bush guy, right? August Bush the 4th or whatever that was here in Tucson. Do you know that whole thing?
No. Give me a quick rundown of that.
So the Anheuser-Busch, right? The Bush family. This is like the kid, 4th generation. He's Augustus Bush the 4th.
Okay,
whatever,
yeah,
right?
I think I know what you're talking about.
He
was Bush the 4th,
right? Mm-hmm. So he was here and crashed his car up on River Road, I think, or Sunrise somewhere, killed a girl.
Yep.
Oh, mysteriously, he left town, right? Right away, sort of like Ted Kennedy Chappaquiddick, right? Left, whatever. Mm-hmm. And, I think they eventually did some sort of a show trial, but he got off totally. And then I think 20 years later, they reopened the case. And I mean, it's a crazy story. It was ended up being on Dateline or something. I mean, it was a big deal because, again, privilege, right, sheltered him from responsibilities that he had after he had done something stupid. And he was a U of A student and hammered.
And this happened in the 80s when Herb was in his 40s. But I do remember that story. I love back to Alex Murdaugh. Okay, so this kid's facing trial for DWI and wrongful death and everything else. And the rest of the town knows that this kid's gonna get off. And everyone wants to kick this kid's ass. Well, then one day, in the backyard of this family's estate, they have several acres with a horse ranch and all that stuff. They find this kid and his mom both murdered, dead. Okay. So this happened about 4 or 5 months ago, double homicide, and there's no suspects. To this day, no suspects as of yet. Now, fast forward just to last week, a week or two ago, the father, Alex Murdaugh, gets shot in the head while changing a tire. Now he survives this, calls 911. Okay. Goes to the hospital and everything, and he survives. So we're like, oh my God, he just got shot in the head. This whole town's trying to kill this family. Okay. Then it was revealed just this last week that the father actually hired a hitman to kill himself. It was basically paid a hitman to commit suicide. And the reason why he was doing that was for life insurance to give to his surviving son. He had a $10 million life insurance policy. Okay. And so that was going to go to his surviving son if he got murdered. But the hitman he hired, probably found on Craigslist, did a terrible job, did not kill him.
You can't use a 22. You got to use a 45.
Well, if you're going to hire somebody, go professional.
Exactly. You got to go professional. So then, and I only have 35 seconds. So then it was revealed that he just recently left his family law firm. The reason why he left his family law firm is because he was embezzling millions of dollars from his family. All right. To top it all off, it was just revealed that he's been addicted to Oxycontins for 20 years.
Of course he has.
Here's the thing. We were looking at the older brother as the suspect. Here's the new suspect. The father. This guy, Alex, is addicted to Oxycontin, killed his son and his mom. That's what I'm speculating right now. We'll talk more about this after we talk movies with Herb Stratford. Let's do it. Rock 102.1 KFMA. I'm getting heavy on the stream and going right back into stuff. But the stuff I was talking about on the stream, this murder mystery in South Carolina, will be made a movie someday.
I'll say, what show are you talking about? That's real life. What?
This is real life. Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
And the thing is, it's almost too crazy to be real life, right? So that's why it makes good entertainment. I can see that as a lifetime movie, right?
Yeah.
That's a crazy story, and it's not over yet.
Not over yet.
Really.
And I'll recap it on the stream after we talk real movies, like the movie Malignant. And now, as I was giving you the plot twists and turns of the story I was telling you off the air, did it remind you of Malignant? Did it feel like a Malignant style ride? Because you seem very high on this film.
Well, I got to tell you, so James Wan, who is the director of Malignant, he's the guy that gave us he gave us The Conjuring, and he's like legit horror guy, right? He's a legit director, and this one sort of popped up, and it's not. Here's the thing about it: it's not a B horror movie like we see on Shudder, right? It's like actually, because it's him, it's like big budget. I don't think Blumhouse had anything to do with it, but it's a big budget film. Mm-hmm. It's sort of snuck out because it's on HBO Max. You know how they dropped. All these films ended up dropping on HBO Max day and date. And it's got this crazy twist, and I can't talk about it.
Yeah, because it would spoil the entire movie. But I gotta tell you, expecting a twist just kind of spoils the entire movie.
No, because it's a slow burn, and it's like something's coming, and you're kind of like, there's got to be more here. There's got to be something. It's like a mystery, but it's a horror movie, and it's got a great cast. The main woman is the woman from Peaky Blinders. She in the first season, she was the woman who was the undercover cop. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Peaky Blinders.
Right.
She's the Irish woman that's a bartender. She's actually working with Sam Neill. She's a cop. Anyway, she's the main character. She's great. But there's this twist about it, and it's sort of an interesting horror movie because it's not. It's like, it's sort of this slow burn, right? But and then it has this sort of a jump scare that becomes a major plot point, so it's not just like a cheap shot. It's like actually something, and you're like, holy crap, that was unbelievable. And then they come back to it a couple times, and you're just like, by the time the movie's over, you're just like, damn, that was a ride.
Really? It takes you on an emotional roller coaster? You feel like physically exhausted after watching a movie?
Well, yeah. Honestly, you're like, I don't know how is this going to finish? It delivers. And so I think, if you have HBO Max, awesome. If you don't, sign up for a free trial for 30 days, check a couple things out.
Yeah.
But this is definitely worth your time. Definitely check out Malignant.
I tried to do that as like a family date night because my daughter and my girlfriend, they're girls. They love horror films. So I'm like, hey, this looks like a perfect film, but they haven't heard anything about it. So obviously there's zero excitement. And now I could say, hey, Herb likes it. My girlfriend usually agrees with your film picks.
All right.
She has terrible taste too. So, at least this will get her to watch it. And I'm sure we'll have a good time. So hopefully we'll watch that tonight.
Yeah.
What else is coming out that you're excited about?
So, well, I got to tell you something I'm not excited about because I want to warn people.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a public service that I provide.
Absolutely.
So Prisoners of the Ghostland. Okay, this is the new Nick Cage movie, and Nick, I have to say, Nick Cage, he is never boring, right? He always he will do everything. He'll do Disney's National Treasure. He'll do Pig. He'll do Prisoners of the Ghostland. He'll do Mandy. I mean, he does all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
some of it good, some of it bad, some of it interesting, some of it terrible. And so this falls into unfortunately falls into the terrible category, which is why I want to warn people. I have to say, Pig was brilliant.
Yes,
and that was the thing where somebody takes his truffle pig, and it was very, very good indie film. This is a big thing where he plays a guy, post-apocalyptic future. He's a bank robber. He gets sprung from jail by this guy, the governor. It's set in this place called Samurai Town. So it's like this post-apocalyptic Japanese wasteland, which on paper, right? I mean, I'm there. I'm totally there. And he's supposed to go rescue this guy's daughter that's been kidnapped. Well, the guy doesn't trust Nick Cage because he's Nick Cage.
Yeah, he doesn't have a trusting face.
So they put him in this leather suit that has bombs in it. And there's bombs at the arms, bombs at the legs, and bombs at the nuts. And so if Nick does something that this guy doesn't like or doesn't get back in 3 days with the daughter, he's going to start blowing Nick up.
Oh, no.
Right?
Just in different pieces?
Yeah.
So one at a time?
So I can see the look on Power's face. He's like, I'm in.
One bomb goes off, then he's done, right?
I imagine they're small enough bombs.
Yeah,
he's going to lose an arm.
Yeah. No, he's going to lose enough blood to die. You blow off your nuts and you're done, man.
I think it goes arm, leg, nuts.
Oh, you say the nuts for last.
Yeah.
Well, it's like an upside down Sunday.
Thank you. That's the best thing I've heard in a while.
But you say it's garbage, so there's no reason to waste our time with it.
Well, I just, I mean, like I said, I love Gonzo Nick Cage, and it's funny you brought up this other movie. It's called The Unbearable Lightness of, or Unbearableness of Incredible Talent or something. Is this other film that he's doing where he plays himself, and he came out this week and said, I can't even watch it because it makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's so bad.
No, it's not that it's so bad. It's just that he's like, I'm not that guy anymore, and I'm playing a caricature of that guy who, like, if in my mind I'm thinking Gonzo, I'm thinking The Rock, I'm thinking Face Off, right? I mean, I'm thinking the things where he was just over the effing top,
right?
And that's where so this movie, honestly,
hold that thought. Let's continue our Nick Cage debate and dive to talk about that. And then when we come back, we'll also talk about what's coming to streaming services as well. So all that's coming up. We'll be talking about this conversation on the stream that's live on the Rock 1 2.1 Facebook page or on YouTube. So join us there, and we'll be right back on the FM. So don't go away. Sorry about that. I had to do that for the sake of time. So keep going.
So wait, quick, because of the stream. What did Nick Cage used to do when he's what was it like? Like what else is like movie?
Elvis,
like he'd do that in movie, he'd slip it in like 3-5 movies all the time,
like a Wild at Heart or something.
Like he'd always be doing his little crazy movie.
Yeah.
And you could do a supercut of those, and that would be awesome.
I
bet that's out there. You probably could look for it.
Right.
So yeah, this is like, I'm surprised. It's at 73% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's not bad.
It's pretty damn high. I would have given it 40 or something, right? So I was disappointed, and I'm like, it's all over the place. And I'm always willing to give Nick a ride. Cause like I watched, what was that one? Freddy's Freddy's Land. It's like the haunted animatronic creatures, and he's hired to clean the place out. Even that was more entertaining, right? But I'll give him a shot. I think I actually paid for that movie. Mandy, brilliant. You know what I mean? So it's like,
there was a movie that I just saw of Nick Cage, and I'm forgetting the title. This is a real life story. So he played the guy. I actually looked the guy up online too to see if there's any resemblance or similarities whatsoever, and there wasn't. It was the guy who kept going to Afghanistan to kill Osama bin Laden.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember the name of that movie?
No, but I remember that story.
He plays that character so wacky and with his accent and everything. And, he's like this hippie guy, but it's so over the top. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? I couldn't keep my eyes off it. I wasn't entertained. I watched all the way through. And then I looked up the guy in real life on his appearances, and it was not even close. Was it even in the same ballpark?
It wasn't like God of War or something like that, was it?
No, it wasn't God of War.
Well, the funny thing is I saw Nick Cage once. I was at South by Southwest, and there was this movie called Joe that he was in, which was sort of odd little drama that got super violent at one point. And we were at the Paramount Theater in Austin, and I was there for the premiere, and I'm sitting way in the back of the theater, and he came in at the last minute, right? And he had a whole group of the, all the filmmakers came in and they sat down, right? Which I don't go to those things, but I saw him, and it was sort of shocking to me. I know everybody's small, everyone's slight, right? Like like Cruise and Dustin Hoffman, they're all small, right? I mean, all the actors are usually small, and that's maybe part of their ethos why they act, because they're trying to seem larger than life or whatever,
right?
But it was weird because Nick Cage to me always has seemed like he was a bigger guy, right? Like a Vince Vaughn kind of, like he was a big,
a tall guy.
Yeah, like Vince Vaughn's like over 6 feet, right? And then you see Nick Cage, and he's this little kind of like little guy, and you're like, wow, that's that crazy guy. That's Nick Cage.
That doesn't surprise me, actually.
It was weird though, just to see him. I honestly was sort of staring at him. I'm kind of like, wow, you're a little guy.
He's just a dainty little guy.
I don't know. It was very strange. And I know they surround them with people the same size or smaller. So, it's like the Hobbits, right?
Yeah.
You get small children to play those people. But anyway, Prisoners of the Ghostland, not worth your time. Go back, revisit another Gonzo movie like Mandy or, Color Out of Time, Space, or whatever that movie was. There's better Nick Cage movies that you can see.
Ghost Rider's
nice.
Ghost Rider's terrible.
It is bad. They're rebooting that one, I hear.
They are.
They're going to reboot everything.
Yeah, that's true.
But now it'll be in the Marvel universe because that's a Marvel comic.
Yeah,
so
which might have a shot at being better. I don't know.
Oh, it's going to be way better. But there's a debate that I'm going to raise with you guys here in 2 segments.
Okay.
That has to do with Marvel. So I'll save it for that. That's my tease. Let's see where we're at here. So we're going to be talking about streaming next. Do you have a list of things that are streaming that you're excited about, or no?
I got 2 things. I got 2 things here we can talk about.
What's the best thing out of the 2? Like, give me one. Because
honestly, Lula Rich is pretty crazy. That's a crazy ride.
Lula Rich, what's that on?
It's a 4-episode thing on Prime, and it's about that pyramid scheme that couple did that like millions of people lost all this money.
Okay. Hey, let me ask you this. You have Amazon Prime, right?
Yeah.
Does it boot you off when you try to watch stuff? Does it just kick you off?
No.
Does it drop service? Nothing like that?
No.
My Amazon Prime that I'm borrowing is giving me so many problems.
So my friends were doing HBO Game of Thrones, right? But they were, and the parents, Game of Thrones comes on, it was like a race to who can log on first because it'll only be on a certain amount. So if you're borrowing it, they might have a watch limit, which means someone that has better access or whatever, like they go to log on, which logs you out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I keep putting on, and then I asked if I was the asshole yesterday, because here's the scenario, and I do kind of feel like an asshole, but the guy didn't have a good point. So the Amazon Prime account is my girlfriend's brother's friend's account. Now, I recently subscribed to Paramount Plus on my main TV, which is on my Xbox, and I got my daughter signed up for it, and I got the commercial one, so I got the $4.99 a month version.
Yeah.
And then we wanted to watch Quiet Place too, but we wanted to watch it in bed, and it's on Paramount Plus. So I took it upon myself to kind of subscribe to the premium Paramount Plus through the Amazon Prime account.
Oh,
yeah. So I subscribed to it twice. One I'm paying for, one I'm not. Unbeknownst to the dude who actually owns the Amazon Prime account.
Until now.
Yeah.
Now he knows.
So I asked, like, and I asked, so people came in, immediately being like, absolutely.
No.
But one guy was like, well, it depends. Did your girlfriend bang this dude? And I'm like, I don't think so, but maybe she did. And if she did, then I'm not the asshole. But if she didn't, then I am the asshole. So now I gotta be like, just for the sake of, because I don't like feeling like an asshole.
Yeah, you don't mind being one, but feeling like one is
right. Right. So
if I know I'm one,
yeah, difference. And just for the sake of it, I'd be like, I gotta talk to my girlfriend and be like, be honest with me. Did you ever bang Nick Bald? And if you did, just let me know. And if she says yes, I'll be like, cool, let's rent a movie tonight on this account. But if she didn't, then I'm going to feel really bad.
Yeah.
And there's no way I know how to. I can't necessarily unsubscribe. I kind of just did it and it's done. It's already done.
But, I think some of those services are like when I do Paramount, like if I don't go on for like a month, then I log on through my Apple TV and it'll be like, thank you for subscribing. And like, well, I already was a subscriber. So like It does like every month you have to re-up it. So you may be okay. You may not it may expire automatically.
He's like, well, I did set it to automatic payments. So I made sure it rolls over.
Okay.
I don't think he'll notice right away because the first month is 99 cents. So you're welcome, Nick. You got the introductory rate. And then after that, so if he looks at his account, he's like 99 cents. I don't really notice that. No one really notices $1 being taken from their account. Yeah. And apparently he has money. So, it's like, I don't. So, I'm not trying to Robin Hood him, but,
Just the Robin part.
Yeah, no hood.
Yeah, just straight Robin.
Hold the
hood. You may be right on that. Again, I do kind of feel like a dick. And what sucks about it, what makes me really feel like a dick, is because the Amazon's not really working that well. So if I was paying for it, I would be furious. Because I'm like,
I would call and complain.
Yeah.
But I don't know the account number.
Exactly. Because I'm having so many
This thing I'm stealing from you is not working. Can you get on that right away, please?
Exactly. So that's what happened with me this week. I don't know. You had an eventful week.
Cyber thief.
Yeah, I know. But it was right there. It was just a one-click process. It didn't give me an option to log in.
Yeah.
Because it was already through the Amazon, and her smart TV, so old that we couldn't download the Paramount Plus app. So my hands were tied, and I wanted to watch Paramount Plus. Plus, it has all the seasons of the challenge on it. Yeah, and here's the kicker: the commercial version of, Paramount Plus, the $4.99 version, doesn't have the last 2 seasons or the current season of the challenge.
Really?
Yeah. So you have to get premium to get the newest content.
Huh.
Yeah.
I got to say, the challenge, though, this season is really depressing me. I'm so over, the idea that Josh and Fessy are the big dogs in the house is just not doing it for me.
That's crazy, too, because I just finished watching War of the Worlds 1. And that's the introduction to Josh. And I'd seen Josh before and some other stuff that was after that. But, I'm kind of bouncing around seasons.
Yeah.
I hate that dude. And he comes off so dumb.
He's the dumbest person to ever be on that show. Absolutely.
Well, and that says a lot because there's a lot of dumb people on that show. But he even sounds dumb.
Yeah.
Just in a way, it's not even the words that he's choosing.
The way he talks.
The way he talks.
No, and
he's like a punchable Forrest Gump.
Oh my God.
That's a good metaphor.
Yeah.
And I can't stand Devin. But it's just like the whole Fessy thing. Fessy and Josh are they're not doing it for me. There's too many people like Big Brother Nigeria, or, it's just like, I'm just not interested. I don't know who you people are. Bring back people I know. I'm just done with it. And I mean, you love to hate Bananas. You love to hate Wes.
Yep.
Bring them back. So
yeah, and Wes got 3rd place in War of the Worlds. I was surprised by that.
Yeah,
and no spoilers on that. So that's one thing. Another thing that Herb and I have in common, that we were surprised.
Yeah,
I was actually like really shocked that he's even a fan of this, because this is brain dead garbage TV,
like trash TV.
Yeah. And when he told me he's a fan of the challenge, and I was like, well, that makes a lot of your critiques on films make a lot of sense.
Hey, you gotta have a little trash in your life, right?
Yeah.
You gotta have high art and low art. I mean, Powers, you understand that.
Yeah,
high and lows all day long.
Dude, no, Wednesday I had a terrible day on the show. I just, I was having technical difficulties, and it just put me in a foul mood. So right after the show, I was like, fuck this, I'm out. So like at 10:01, I hit that parking lot so fast, I beat the other guy across the hall home. And that's hard to do because he's usually racing out the door as well. But I went home and I unplugged and I just put on the challenge. Well, first I did watch Marvel's What If because it was Wednesday. Then I did a challenge marathon to just kind of unplug my mind and not think about any of it, and then reset. And yesterday I had a great show. Today we had a great show. It was to kind of refocus. The best way to refocus was not think about the show at all and not think about anything except for fighting and fucking. And that's what the challenge is. It really is.
Yeah,
That's what makes the show great.
It's true.
And he shows his, and then Herb is showing his like devious side, his derelict side of Al. He's just like, yeah, I like watching fighting fucking too.
Oh my God.
Because you would never expect that from Herb, because this guy dresses nice in suits and everything, and restores old theaters and like drinking wine and eating cheese kind of guy, right?
Drinking wine and eating cheese.
You cut me to the core.
I just thought that was a great reveal. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, we're all a little more complex than we appear.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got layers. He's an onion. And Eric, you're wrong. What If comes out on Wednesdays?
Yeah, technically you can get it Tuesday night at midnight.
Well,
Yeah,
that is true. That is true. If
That's
you're up at
usually when
midnight.
I jump on there.
Right.
Do you want to talk about What If for like 1 minute? What'd you think of this one?
I'll say this, and the internet's saying this, so I'll repeat what the internet's saying.
What?
Stop killing Tony Stark, man. Stop doing it. Like, we
So
get it.
funny.
We get it. You're pissed at Robert Downey Jr. He said he's out, but you don't have to make every what if being like, what if we kill him this way? What if we kill Tony Stark that way? They keep killing Tony Starks,
Well,
and nobody wants to see
They
it.
keep killing all of them. I mean, honestly, is what happens.
Tony's first to
It's
go.
true. It seems like that keeps happening.
Yeah.
I thought this one, everyone liked this one, or everyone hated this one. Killmonger one.
I liked it because first off, I'm a team Killmonger in
Yeah.
Black Panther. You're like, yeah, he's kind of right, you know.
Oh, that's the thing about Killmonger. This kind of, I mean, he
Yeah.
got the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It shows how evil he could be,
Yeah.
you know. And so, you know, that was the concept of the show. What if? And Michael B. Jordan,
Hey,
I
Trey,
think them killing his character. I hope he comes back in the Marvel Universe somehow, some way.
Well, multiverses exist now. so-
Exactly.
Yep.
So I think that was, you know, one and done would do us all a disservice as fans, because I think he is a great protagonist and a great villain that should return in one way or another.
Yeah. There you go. It's interesting villains these days, aren't they? They're all like, he's too cool. Let's turn him good.
Right. But, you know, that's the thing with Thanos, too, because that's the way Marvel mind fucks you, is that you're just like, I'm kind of rooting for the bad guy in this one.
Yeah.
I mean, we got, you know, a lot of famine and everything. He makes a good point. Let's just wipe out half the universe and then I could eat as much as I want. It'll be great.
That's so
All
funny.
right, 5 seconds. Here we go. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. Are you ready for Herb Stratford's streaming pick of the week? That's a theoretical or a hypothetical question. I just need an answer.
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
yes,
good.
Yes, I'm ready.
All right.
Um,
So, what is worth watching
all
on our
right.
streaming service?
All
What
right,
streaming
so-
service do we have to steal from a friend?
So here's the thing.
watch?
I don't want to belabor this because this may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I will say before we get into the one that I think is sort of like a must watch, the morning show on Apple TV Plus.
Okay.
The second season's dropping. If you like the first season, it's got a great cast. Reese Witherspoon, Jennifer Aniston. It's a great cast, and I mean it's an interesting thing. Steve Carell gets caught doing something he shouldn't, anyway.
Okay.
Second season drops this week, but that may not be everybody's cup of tea. I liked it. What I want to talk about is on Prime. Okay, it's called Lula Rich, and this is a 4-part miniseries it's a docuseries about the collapse of this thing called it was just like this legging company called Lulu something.
Lulu leggings.
No,
Lulu leggings.
No, Lulu
Lemon.
Lulu Row. No, it's not Lululemon.
Oh.
It's Lulu Row, and it turned out the whole thing was a multi-level marketing scam. So a pyramid scheme, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So basically, the people at the top, they're making tons of money. You got all these people at the bottom, they're not making anything, and they're paying in all this money. So the whole thing collapses. It's just really, it's a fascinating show to watch. This how they dissect the whole thing. One of the most interesting things, you not only have people who were screwed, who were like the retailers who, you'd have parties at your house, right? And you'd pay like 15 grand and you'd have all this inventory and you'd sell it to your friends and blah, blah, blah. So it's like Avon or, any of those things, right? But what's interesting is the couple who are at the top of this scam, they sit down for this interview. And they're like, they're like sitting there answering questions. And you're like, do you not have a lawyer that should be telling you,
Shut up,
stop talking? They're like, oh, no, everything's great. And we did this and we did that. And then they're showing like, how they hired all their family who had no skills and no experience. And they're a very big Mormon family. So like, there's tons of people working in this business and they have this giant, corporate office. And I mean, the whole thing just blew up and people lost, millions of dollars were lost. I mean, and, we're talking about at one point they had 90,000 like agents basically selling this stuff. And at some point, there aren't enough people, right? That's the
Right.
problem with multi-level marketing schemes is after you go down a couple levels, there's not enough humans on Earth, to
Right.
support the whole system. So very
Like-
interesting little series to watch.
Everyone you pitch to, you want to buy these leggings? Be like, no. Do you want to buy these leggings?
Exactly.
Same
Yeah.
leggings.
No, and that's the thing.
Are
It's
they
like when
still
you're the
facing
only
trial?
person, they're still in town, and I mean, they still exist, right? And I mean, what's interesting too, there's a side note about this is when you look at the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, right, and you look at the reviews on Prime, right, it's being review bombed by the people that still love the company. So they're all going 1 star, terrible movie, and then everybody else is going 4 stars. This is awesome.
Oh.
So it's really obvious. It's not like, what, is this good or bad? It's like, no, it's clearly good because
Yeah.
the people hate it that are made to look stupid
Yes.
by still. So they went from like, one person selling their crap to 90,000. Now I think they're back down to like 20,000 or something. But I mean, it just
Still a
blew up
scam.
spectacularly. They're being sued in like 6 different states. I mean, it's crazy.
I love it. All right. So yeah, they're still ongoing, the
Yes.
legal
Yep.
troubles, and they're basically burying themselves. So you can watch them just completely ruin their defense in real
Yes.
time.
Yes.
And it's called Lulu.
It's called Lula Rich.
Lulu Rich
Yeah.
on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. When we return, are Marvel movies turning us into zombies? That's what I want to debate with Powers and Herb next on Beef Vegan Presents. Don't go away. Clear. All right. I have to
Yeah,
do
we
my
gotta talk
endorsement
about
real
that.
quick. Yes. But real quick, I'll do a quick F my life. I shared a story about my best friend from back in the day doing something so horrific. It could be nothing but an F my life.
Okay.
You're going to love the story. Check it out.
Did you get caught self-loving by your mom?
Awkward.
It is awkward. Did you do something that got you fired from your job?
I just get stupider.
It's fun being stupid.
Don't hide this in vain. Let us laugh at your pain. Call 600 KFMA right away.
I promise we won't embarrass you.
Because Beef Vegan presents F My Life. F My Life. F My Life.
Rock 102.1 KFMA. It's time for another round of F My Life. Keep those emails coming in. Beefvegan at KFMA.com, subject line FML. Or if you care to share your F My Life on the air, you can call us right now at 600 KFMA. Lance and Powers are going to weigh in on these F My Lives. Here's our first situation. This one is from Courtney. She said, yesterday I had a mini heart attack as my dad stopped in the middle of the street and said, I wonder what would happen if I just dropped my pants and started wanking it right in front of all these mofos.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. F my life, Lance.
Yeah, F my life. Your dad's kind of creepy.
Yeah. That's how
how
we're saying yes, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy dads. I'm a crazy dad, so I understand.
Wanking in the street, are you?
Well, I've never wanked in the street.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah. Give me another 10 years. All right. Next situation. This one is from Jake. He says, today I felt some serious gas building up while at the supermarket. I tried to quietly fart it out, as we do, only to end up kind of letting some slip out.
Oh, no.
Yeah, not just the fart, if you know what I'm talking about. It rhymes with fart.
Oh.
All right, I had to frantically waddle out of the store as discreetly as possible as several people in the vicinity freaked out and tried to locate the source of the smell. Oh, F my life, Powers.
Yeah, that's no good.
Yeah.
Them shorts ain't making it home.
I'm going to challenge this. It happens to everybody at least once in their life that they poop themselves in public.
You know, he's not
Okay,
wrong.
give me your scenario then.
So I
This
haven't,
obviously
I haven't
happened to you.
I haven't had it happen to me yet.
No,
but
you
it's
just
gonna
said it
happen to
happens
me.
once in a lifetime.
Yeah, I still have a lifetime left to live.
With the amount of Molly you did, you've never done.
No, that's my biggest fear is to poop myself while I'm on stage DJing.
Fair.
DJ Crap Pants. I love
DJ
it.
crap my pants.
Yeah. All
I
right.
sneezed at a diner once and out it came. That's just excuse me, I'm going to use the bathroom. There you go.
Those snarts, yeah, seriously,
There it
they
is.
happen, and they come out of nowhere.
You throw away your undies.
Yup.
Yep.
I'll give you an F my life story from my one of my best friends, John. Okay, he would fart all the time. I grew up with him. I known him since 3rd grade, right? And just loads pepper on everything. So he was a gas machine, and he just thinks farts are funny.
Yeah.
They
So,
are funny.
Yeah. So he was living with his girlfriend. His girlfriend had a son. All right. And he had a good relationship with his son. His son's like 6 or 7 years old, her son. Well, she went to go off to work. Right. So she says bye to both of them. And it just John and her son. And so she says bye to both of them, walks out the door. So like just less than a minute after she walked out the door, John gets up. He's going to the kitchen. He lifts up his leg to fart on the boy as a joke, right?
Oh,
And so he goes to fart on him, and he does it, but something comes out.
oh my God.
And he's wearing basketball shorts, so it goes all over him. And the boy, the boy's looking mortified. He freezes, right? And he's like, did you just? And he's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. So he grabs the kid up. He runs to the bathroom and puts him in the bathtub and starts washing him off. Like gets him naked and starts washing him off. Then his girlfriend walks back in the door and catches him with her naked son, and he's like, no, it's not what it looks like. Oh, I pooped on him.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was the better of the two options.
Yes.
He's like, no, I'm not trying to diddle your boy. I just pooped on. Oh, F my life.
I mean, as fast as I could go right there. That's amazing.
Best story ever. I loved it.
Oh my God.
I think I pooped myself when you told me it. All right. And let's do just one more. We only have time for one more. Let's see. Today, my girl. All right, so that was that F My Life story I had to share.
Gold.
Yeah, I gotta get Herb back on here. I had to close out his window because that was the reason for the echo. Because Herb,
that's a top 10 story. I got to tell you right there. That is. I don't know how you top that one. It's like part of that story would be like top 10, and then you like double down, right?
A very Curb Your Enthusiasm moment.
Oh,
a bad scenario where you're just like
Total
either
cringe.
the truth is just as bad as the assumption.
Yeah.
You know?
There's no way to spin that one positively.
So funny.
The dog did it.
Yeah. The timing and everything. Oh man, he was so embarrassed, and I cried. I love that guy so much too. And so I know he's not a kid diddler, and I've known him, like I said, since I was like third grade. This guy farted so much. So you know you play with fire, you're gonna get burnt.
Well, you wouldn't, but you wouldn't make that up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's something about being self-deprecating, but I mean, you would never make up a story that horrific about yourself, so it had to be true.
I know, John. I love him. I got another story about John. I'll tell you real quick because this is great. Because he worked with me as well, doing like casino parties. And one night we're working a fundraiser event for LGBTQ. Right, so a lot of drag queens and gay people there, and we're doing a casino fundraiser, and we're dealing craps. So I'm on the craps table dealing, John's on stick, and that's moving the dice around. And then there's this guy that looks like Freddy Krueger is the best way to put it. Honestly, like his face, his acne is like so bad. And like to be nice, to put it nicely, this guy is like one of the ugliest guys I've ever seen in my life.
but he wasn't like a burn victim, right? I mean, it wasn't something that was his.
He wasn't. No, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, genetically, he got hit with the ugly stick, but he didn't get burnt. And he's wearing this like brown leather jacket, and it's just creepy. So we're doing crafts all night. And he's a nice guy, but he's being extra nice to John. And I'm seeing it, I'm noticing it. I know what's up, and I'm like, John, man, this guy's like hitting on you. He's like, no, man, shut up. You're being stupid. He's just a nice guy. And I'm like, I don't know, man. And so after the party it gets done, we're breaking down the casino tables. We're in the back of the U-Haul. And I'm like, I'm telling you, man, this guy's hitting on you. You're like, no, and he's giving me shit. And he's like, you're a fucking idiot. He's just a nice guy. And he's just, being friendly. And as soon as he said that, the guy comes up and he's like, hey, Johnny, hey, I was wondering, I felt like we were kind of hitting it off in there. Like, can I get your number? And like maybe have a drink with you or something like that. And then John gets super embarrassed, red face and everything, and he's uncomfortable because he's not homophobic. His brother's gay, but at the same time, he's not down with that at all. And he's like, oh no.
And he's uncomfortable because you were right.
Yeah,
right.
But wait, and he's just like, oh no, I'm sorry, man. I'm straight. Thank you, but no. And the guy, you can see him get his heart broken in real time because he really thought him and John had this connection because John was being really nice back. And I was telling John to pump the brakes because he's sending mixed messages, like, do you want to bang this guy? I don't mind if you bang this guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, hey, to each his own. And, your brother's gay. So, he has a good time with it. So maybe you would too. So anyways, he's like mortified and he's embarrassed and he knows that I'm wrong. And then the guy gets his heart broken and he walks away. And he's like, oh my God. And John's like, I can't believe that guy thought I was gay. And I was like, that's not your problem, dude. And he was like, what do you mean? I'm like, that guy is so ugly. He's the ugliest guy in the room. And he looks around the room and he's like, which guy can I fuck? And he looked at you and he's like, that guy. Oh my God. That's the problem. The ugliest guy in the room thought he had a chance banging you. That's what you got to wrap your mind around. And he ruined his night so much to where he ran home and shit on his girlfriend's son just to feel better about himself. So that's.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. That's a way to look at it.
Yeah. That was the way I was looking at it. Oh, and I'm sitting there in the back, like I'm just putting these like blackjack legs up on mom's attic or whatever, while like keeping my back turned to him. But my face is like this. I'm to myself like, oh no. Like, and I knew John had no idea how bad it really was, because it wasn't mistaking that. It wasn't mistaking the sexuality. It was mistaking the fact that he was like, I could totally bring that guy home.
He's like, that's my mark right there.
Yeah.
Easy picking.
Oh, I destroyed his self-esteem for a good 2 years of that one.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Rock with a 2.1 KFMA. We're having a fun time on the V Fegan Presents live stream. So when you get a chance, make sure you go to YouTube and search B Fegan, youtube.com/B Fegan, and subscribe and check out our video podcast that we do live each and every weekday morning at 9 a.m. Okay, so real quick, here's the debate that I want to bring up with you. And the reason why I want to bring it up with you, Herb, not only because you're a film critic, but it started by the director of Dune. Yes,
true.
Dune. And what it is not all big budget sci-fi movies are created equal. And that's what Denis, what's his last name?
Denis Villeneuve.
Already.
Right.
Do you want to know how to say his name or not?
Well, I want to.
We're making fun of him. I'm making fun of you too.
I don't want to sound like a douche while saying it. All right. So
I am there for that.
Yes. So he's directing Dune, and he sees and it seems that he sees his movie as a cut above the Marvel stuff. And in a new interview, he quoted in saying this, perhaps the problem is we're in front of too many Marvel movies that are nothing more than a cut and paste of others. Perhaps these type of movies have turned us into zombies a bit. So it's kind of a snobby statement. But
kind of.
Would you agree or disagree with Denis saying that Marvel movies are turning us into zombies because they're all basically cut and paste the same?
Well, but wait, so let's just go one step down the chain here too, because the reason this became an issue was because Neil Blomkamp, who directed District 9, basically threw down and said, "Whoa, screw you, Denis."
Okay.
So this is becoming a beef, right, between directors. And you'd think Blomkamp, who is a brilliant director himself, I mean, Chappie notwithstanding, was not as good as District 9. But anyway,
I did enjoy Chappie though.
But District 9 was more brilliant. But anyway, so you have this interesting thing where normally these guys would sort of be, they'd be bros, right? They'd be like a brotherhood of like, hey, you know what? We're both well-respected, money-making science fiction directors. Not a lot of us. Yeah. Right. So it's a little bit interesting that feud is sort of spilling out into the open, right? So I would tell you that I can understand what he's saying because he's coming from more of an art house perspective. If you look at Denis Villeneuve's output, it's before he made Blade Runner 2049, before he made Arrival, he made a film called Incendiaries, which was about sort of the Middle East conflict. It was more of an art house film. Yeah. So he's coming from like an art house world, and he's sort of drifted into science fiction. He's got an amazing aesthetic, which is why he's perfect for Dune. But I can see where he's coming from being an art house director.
Okay,
right?
so he's against making money. Is he allergic to money?
No, I think he's more in tune with the high art, right? We were talking about high art, low art, and I mean, and I'm not saying Marvel's low art because I watched everything Marvel. I mean, I even like the Bad Hulk movie. Okay,
yeah.
I think, but I can see how somebody could say, Marvel's going to pump out 6 movies a year. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of content. But if there's an audience for it, God bless you.
I'm telling you
and
right
I will
now,
be there for every one of them.
If this guy's going to be that much of a snob, it's just another indication that Dune is not going to perform the way you think Dune is going to perform.
It's going to be slow.
Slow and arty, and people are going to be like, "This sucks. This is not like a Marvel movie. I'm out." What do you say, Frank?
I'm going to say, I'll tell you this. Firstly, this is an old argument. People keep coming after these Marvel movies and the superhero genre. It's just action movies. They're just action movies. They're not different. Sorry, John McClane wouldn't survive call that. We just let it happen.
Okay.
Right. So everyone's been talking about that nonsense. I think that I get it. People do enjoy junk food, right? Junk food's delicious.
They love it.
But also, if it was so easy, it's cut, copy, paste, then I guess everyone would just be able to do it, wouldn't they?
Yeah, that's
they
right.
can just do it. It must be so simple to just make movies successful. That's why DC movies, they're just easy. It's so easy to just do this, everybody. What Marvel's done, Black Panther, phenomenal. And I'll just also say this, Shang-Chi, an all like Asian cast starring no real stars,
right?
Just the star is the universe, which we see Star Wars has done now. It takes place in this world.
Yes.
And that's enough for it to be like, I'm interested. And then it was successful. My least favorite movies are like, it's the Knights of the Round Table starring King Arthur, Lancelot. And they'll name the characters like their stars because it's starring no one.
Yes.
Shang-Chi has a little bit of that going on. It's really not starring anyone. People like Abomination's in it, I think, right? So that proves something about like a good movie's a good movie. And Rotten Tomatoes is just the people. So if Shang-Chi's getting nearly 100 on that, stop your griping and coming after these Marvel movies because everyone likes to go after the most popular thing going.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah. So
no, you're
I'm
right.
here for Excelsior. Okay?
That's right. That's right.
And I will say also, I think that, in hindsight, what will eventually happen, and it doesn't happen normally in the day because people are too close to everything. At some point in time, and there's a little bit of this going on now, but not enough. At some point in time, people are going to go, Kevin Feige, you're a freaking genius.
They're saying it now, dude.
But not enough.
Yeah.
I think he should be getting more attention because the guy has put together, and honestly, yes, it's Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and everybody else. It's their content, but he has managed to shape and sculpt and brilliantly do that.
Absolutely. 100%. Excellent point there, Herb. Better point, Powers. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning into the show. Next week, I got more big tickets to give away, but don't forget to check out the video podcast on demand on Twitch, on YouTube, and on our Facebook, Rock 102.1 Facebook page. We're out of here. Thank you so much again for checking out the show. And as always, drive safe, ride safe, and rock local. Peace.
Done it again.
An end to all your grief. But if you've been mean or kind of bad, I will knock out all your teeth.